Hello.
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, darling.
So my name is Nanret, Dr. Nanret. I'm learning to introduce myself as Dr. Nanret. And I am 25 years old. Something that I love to do is watch sports. I am obsessed with sports. So I love to watch football, basketball, tennis, Formula One. There's nothing I can't watch. So can you tell me about yourself?
My name is Regina and Dr. I'm a development specialist.
Okay.
And I love to have intergenerational conversations with my grandchildren, my children, and others. And I love to mentor young ones, and they too to mentor me. It's funny because they too teach me certain things.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that.
You have a very warm aura around, like you exude a very warm aura. It's lovely to meet you, ma'am.
Thanks to, and the young doctor, you see, I'm in good hands.
You are in good hands.
Okay.
You are.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Okay. So this says, what is feminism to you?
Good question. Feminism. Look at the word. It comes from Latin word fema, meaning woman. Is my own whole personality of womanhood. How do I express it? With my environment, with the traditions, a partner. How do I exercise my God-given rights within the community with others to produce some positive results? It's your identity that you use to really get into the family as a woman. And you will notice even as a woman, that feminism expresses itself in different ways. Because I have my feminism as a daughter, as a wife, as a mother, as a sister. But that feminism drives how I relate to everybody, my personal rights, my access to participation, and to even anything concerning my life. Okay?
Yeah.
That is, I can call it, is a path for your survival and existence and achievement. That feminism. For me, that is feminism.
That's very interesting. My answer is a bit, sounds a bit young. Feminism to me, I think, is just to be. So feminism gives me room to exist as myself. Gives me room to grow. It gives me room to have grace for mistakes, right? So I'm able to make mistakes that my peers will have, but feminism allows me to have mistakes. It allows me to make mistakes. It allows me to learn from my mistakes.
Yes.
It allows me to correct and be corrected.
Yes.
And it allows me there's something that you said about like a path, like it gives me room. So feminism allows me to chase whatever path I want to and to be wherever I want to, if I choose to be. Very interesting.
Yes, I add something to what you are saying, which I really agree with. I agree on the pathway. But this feminism we're talking about is really driven by the culture of community and of family. And that culture that drives feminism has positive aspects and negative aspects.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So as a feminist, you and I, no matter what age, are going to navigate this path of feminism, embracing the positives, and then trying to really struggle and fight the negative. We have to be courageous.
Yeah.
Do we agree on that?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that we've made, I think that because of people like you, I think that we've made huge progress in correcting the negatives. I think that negatives that we had maybe 10 years ago, I'm sure that you probably don't see as many of them as they were. Of course, they still are and would continue.
Okay. What are the challenges feminists have experienced in your time? Yeah.
In my time.
Time now.
Okay. So I think that a challenge that we're facing is the advancement of technology, right? Now we have AI. And what's the advancements that we've garnered so far has given an unlimited access to creativity, right? So everybody has an unlimited access to do what they want. And with that unlimited access to creativity is also creating room for harmful acts and behaviors. And people are very much excited with having agency to use AI and are abusing it inadvertently. And we don't have stopgaps. We don't have things that regulate how AI is used. And because of that, it has been proven to be a challenge to us because we can't control it. Everyone seems to use it for something bad these days. And it's affecting the movement. It's pushing back to the movement because it seems like we're moving one step ahead and then there's this problem that we can't deal with and there's this problem that we can't control and we can't stop. All we can do is to continue to fight hard. So it's just, it's a new challenge in, I guess, maybe an old clothing.
Yes, the technology. On time, I can see where you're coming from, but our own time, I think it could be a blessing in disguise that we don't have technology much. In fact, our parents are more the technology and the community. That means they gave us tools, set boundaries.
Yeah.
Some boundaries, we don't like them. Until today, I don't like some of them either. But at least it creates a safe place where you can then express your womanhood. Yeah. And that womanhood is not expressed in isolation. It's expressed with the manhood, especially in Africa. At least, why I'm saying this is that it gives you some protection. But again, the major challenge we had, we are having technology now trying to attack you. We had not technology, we're at risk that if you are going to a stream or something, you could be raped, So we had our own challenges of not leaving the compound or it could happen inside, So our parents are very protective of us. We did that. Then again, you're talking about technology, what is happening today to you. Our own, we had history. We had traditional tools.
Yeah.
We had something to advance with. Today, you have some of the history you get from the house, but not from the community. So even when they attack, even technology, everything is really cultural. Even when we don't have a lot of cultural tools to respond.
Yeah.
Okay? And for us, your parents or grandparents, it's sort of, it's a wish we want to, it's not even your fault really. It's us who need to really make sure that you get that kind of knowledge and tool, no matter, it's never late to really face the future because technology, AI is a brain for somebody. But what do you have really to know when something is false or something of the sort? So I don't know whether you agree that what you're facing is real. And I faced my own in my own time.
Yeah.
But I could help you, my generation could help you. Your grandmother or your grandfather could tell you things that you know are true that can help you face some challenges of this AI. It's not 100% thing, but at least give you some tools to be able to withstand this invasion, technology invasion in your life. Does it make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And I completely agree with the fact that we need to cultivate the habits and create the culture, right? I think that the culture is lacking. And because the culture is lacking, that's why people are using these tools wrongly because we lack culture. And so we have to continue, as I said earlier, carry on the mantle in creating and cultivating the culture, cultivating the habits, and creating the culture that secures us and gives us this security that you had when you were younger, and you also provided your daughter and your granddaughters.
Because you mentioned the culture theme, what do you think we, my generation, can do in a way to equip you more culturally to face this onslaught? Because it keep coming and it may get worse. What do you think we can do?
Okay, when you were speaking, you mentioned something about having separate conversations with different people.
Yeah.
These conversations are somewhat siloed. I think that what should change is beyond the surface level, right? I think we were speaking earlier about how your granddaughter is your best friend. And my grandmother was my best friend before she died, right? Yeah. And having that relationship, that strong relationship, so it's beyond the, oh, this is my grandma, this is my daughter. Establishing a relationship and having a strong relationship that is communal. So not just with your granddaughter, but with your granddaughter's friends and with your granddaughter's cousins, maybe from her other parents. And being able to build that relationship would help cultivate the culture. And so you're not only close to your granddaughter, but your granddaughter's friends feel comfortable with you, comfortable enough to speak to you about, oh, Grandma Regina, this is what I'm dealing with. And you being in that space and in that room to also mentor, as you mentioned, and to teach and to help, which is what is very important at this time.
Thank you, because what you just said remind me of my own growing up. The safe space I had, and I'm sure you have, is when you're with your grandparents.
Absolutely.
Okay, you can say anything and they will take nothing. Things you can't discuss with your parents, you can discuss. So we may need more intergenerational,
yes,
with your children, because getting together, not grandparents doesn't mean only the mother of your father or mother. In Africa, everybody, siblings of your mother are your aunts.
Yeah.
Siblings of your grandmother are your grandparents or something. So we may start looking into that intergenerational communication and knowledge sharing.
Yeah.
That could help all of us, to, and in doing so, we learn more about what people are going through.
Exactly.
And be less critical. Yes. And find together what are the positive tools that you need. And then I learned more too, during COVID, was by children around me mentoring them, but they mentored me. That's when even I learned how to use some technical skills, computer and all.
Yes.
So it could be an exchange, a change. Is that correct?
Yes, especially because women of my generation feel so criticized, I think, maybe by our parents. We feel heavily criticized, and it helps to have that safe space that you've spoken about. That safe space that allows me to learn from you, to be corrected by you, and to take that correction, that soft correction that I want to hear and I want to use. Okay, this is very interesting. What conversations were taboo in your generation that are more open now? And vice versa.
What conversation?
Were taboo in your generation.
Oh, wow. That time, my dear, you dare not ask your parents too many questions. Okay, and then adult conversation, you will hear it, but you're not going to ask them what they're saying. They're so off limit. Because today, and then when you're told things, you don't say why, because your generation will ask us why, know? And then things like body parts, monthly menstruations, boyfriend, dating doesn't even exist. So, and then taboo is failure, that you failed the exams. Is a taboo. In fact, could be ostracized for some time. So there's a very strict discipline. It looked draconic in some cases, and put the fear of the Lord in some of us, most of us, but it did help us really at the end. When you walk through that, it's like boot camp.
Yeah.
When you come out of it, you are happy. But again, there's some of the things they told us to or something. They had good intention, but it made us naive. We didn't prepare well in some areas, especially for marriages. Okay, we were very good in motherhood because our mothers always, but in marriages, because you go to school, boys only, girls only.
Yeah.
How are you going to grow up marrying somebody you really never really knew? So some of us met the man at the altar. Okay, but your case is different. So that's where we learn from you. Sometimes now I watch my granddaughter, my daughter, how they relate with the men. Because look at the young men. You are together from kindergarten with them. So you know them.
Yes.
And then you can see you can predict their character, everything. You don't second guess. And you build a friendship that is truth, honest. And then I see young men today being more open to you developing as a person than my time. So you can see those are the things, the taboo, or some of the consequence of the taboo is that we didn't have that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that we didn't have good upbringing with it.
Of course.
Okay. So
of course. If there's anything to be happy about right now, I think that is the fact that no one can tell us to keep quiet. You mentioned that we'll ask why. And so now you can't make us marry somebody that we don't know because we'll say why. And we'll question your every thought and your every action, everything that you tell us to do, question. I think that's a conversation that used to happen in my time was the conversation about sexual identity. And growing up, it was difficult to understand. I wouldn't say it was difficult to understand, but we had like a lack of information. I reckon as that the lack of information that we had is also the lack of information that you had growing up, which is what posed challenges for you as a feminist, like in your time. But growing up, lack of information about sexual identities and how people could be different was something that was a conversation that we never really had. But now I see that people are more open to being, and I think it's also because of the work that your generation and you did as a feminist. Yeah. Because when you lay down the ground rules, and then you tell us like you can be whoever you want to be. And now people are owning that and people are making that how they express themselves. And really, right now, no one can stop us at this point. And because of that, we're able to have these conversations about the different identities that we have, and we're able to be, and we're able to exist in this space. So I think that that's a conversation that was a taboo that we're opening up to now.
Yes, as you open up to close some taboos, you create some taboos too. Okay? Yeah. Our generation, funny enough, the kind of taboo we are seeing now in generation is they're acquiring the persona I. Myself.
Yeah, me.
I, me, myself. Okay? And we, in Africa at least, we had we, us, and ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay? And your generation are more the I. Okay?
Yeah.
And that I, it pushes you to do certain things that is good, personality of this thing. It's rights can push you too high, and if it's good, defend it. But it can push you off to the limit of certain things of our own tradition.
Yeah.
And then it becomes very challenging for our generation, really.
Yeah.
And when they do that, when you do that is, it's okay, but at one point, when the consequences start coming, then you come back. Okay? So that is why I was telling you that it's good not to go from Z back to A. Yeah? Because it's my good to go from A, but even us too don't have the skills sometimes to try to get to drive it in it. So we are having women now, as you grow older, there are certain things you should have done you didn't do. There are times you should have spoken up, you didn't speak up. There are times you should have defended your daughters, you did not defend them because you don't defend yourself even. Okay, so we grow up with that, and I can understand you watching us going through that drives you more to the I am, because this woman say we look at the condition. Okay, so you agree with that?
Yeah.
But what can you tell me as a mother, grandmother, what can we do to help you really not push you to this, the I, which makes some of us, it's painful for mothers and makes some of you may be right, but self-centered that sometimes it might not be very productive, neither for you or for us. Am I getting off the ramp? Am I understanding?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Absolutely. I think that, I don't know if I want to say maybe the number of children. I think that's how you grew up. So if you come from a large family, you are going to hear we. You are going to hear yours, like yours, all of yous. Yeah. You're going to hear ourselves a lot. And growing up in that kind of space, I think is also what motivates us to become I's. Because when you have been a we for a long time, when you find your way in the world and you're alone, you want to choose yourself, so to speak. And so I start to refer to myself, I'll start to say, oh, I will do this, and I'm going to do this, regardless of if my sister is doing it or if my brother is doing it. I start to choose myself. And so I think that that's where the Iism is coming from, because when we grew up together, we grew up in communities, and you hear things like, your friends are not like that, your sister is not like that, your cousin is not like that. By the time you're older and you're within yourself and you know who you are, you start to say, oh, I am this, I will do this, I will go here, or I can do this. And I think that that's where it comes from. And what can you do as a grandma, or what can you do as a mother? I think, again, it is singling out your children. And so you're not parenting all your children at the same time, and you're not giving the same kind of parenting to all your children at the same time. When you have a relationship with each of your kids, and your daughter feels safe to speak to you because she knows that she has a relationship with you, and it's a relationship that she has with you, not she and her sister with you, or not she and her brother with you. I think that holding on to those relationships, those single relationships with your children, I think that it helps the conversation. It helps to speak, because when your daughter feels comfortable enough to have that single conversation with you, she's able to grow from it, and you're able to grow from it, and you're able to offer advice based on her unique challenge or her unique problem.
Fantastic. Because one of my daughters said this to me.
Of course.
Okay, you understand. So I learned, I'm going up there today, adding some new notes to my own mothering and grandmothering. I thank you.
Yes,
thank you for educating me too.
Thank you for teaching me. So lovely to meet you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.